Divisions, I'm not going to go into a tremendous amount of detail. This video is probably getting a little long, but schoolyard kind of focuses on the little, everybody, all the little kids, for example. And typically it tends to be in groups of about 10 to 15 players. They'll usually play in little small groups of three versus three. But what they tend to do actually is usually at the very beginning of their sessions on a Saturday, they might start the first 20, 30 minutes with our instructors just kind of going through the fundamentals, just kind of developing motor skills and trying to figure out how to kick a ball and hop and jump. I mean, at this age, we're just trying to get them to kind of fall in love with the game, right? That's the whole idea. And sessions, as it's written on there, they happen for about 45 to 60 minutes every Saturday. And as far as times go, I mean, we'll let you know when the schedules are out. We actually have a fair amount of schoolyard kids this season, so we're probably going to look at doing 2 sessions. So we'll let you know what time your particular session will be. But it will be the same time every Saturday. No practices during the week. So for schoolyard, it is simply a Saturday event, every Saturday until the season's over. 6U division, so at that point, it's really designed to be really the first coachable program. This is where it's a bit more exploration or explorative. It's where, it's coaches encouraging the players to kind of figure things out a little bit more, experiment with passing, experiment with understanding a bit more of the fundamentals of soccer, right? It's still, to be honest with you, a bit more geared towards fun, but for the most part, it's kind of learning some of the fundamentals again. So it's 4v4, so 4 versus 4 players with no goalkeeper, so no goalkeepers in 6U. 30-minute games, and again with 25-minute skill sessions, so kind of similar to schoolyard, where they get a good amount of time before the game to kind of understand the fundamentals, to learn from their instructors, and then they get to play a game. So it's all coach supervision, and there are no official referees for this division. And that's pretty much it for 6U. For 8U, actually real quick, practices are going to be available for 6U as well. And your coaches, you will have coaches, and they will get in contact with you and let you know what those practice times are. 8U division, so now we're getting into the point where they're starting to learn a bit more, right? Now they're establishing habits. Now they're, like it says there, they're adopting foundations for development. Now coaches are starting to really get a little bit more serious in terms of passing and starting to teach them some, maybe even some plays and understanding, positions. So it's still meant to be a bit more fun. It's still definitely meant to be a bit more recreational, but now they're kind of teaching them the fundamentals. And by the way, one thing that I want to mention real quick for 6U, 8U, and 10U, and even up to 12U, it's really all recreational. It's never supposed to be a situation where a certain set of kids are ever meant to play one position for the entire game. Every single kid is supposed to be rotated around. The idea here is we are trying to develop them in different positions, because you never know what position they might excel at, right? Like somebody might be a great forward, somebody might be an incredible defender, someone else in 10U and up might be an incredible goalkeeper. You just don't know until you cycle these kids around. So up until about, the end of 12U, it's incredibly important, and we tell the coaches that they need to keep cycling them around. So if you are noticing as a parent that that's not happening and coaches are just kind of keeping the same kids up in front and the same kids up in the back the entire game, talk to your coaches first. Make sure you talk to them first and see if you can resolve it that way. But if not, make sure you talk to the board members and the regional commissioner, and we'll help you out. So as far as 8U division, some quick bullet points. It's a 45-minute practice with your coaches. That is maximum. 1 to 2 times a week. That is also maximum. The games themselves are 40 minutes. It's 5v5 with no goalkeeper. So even in 8U, there are no goalkeepers. And that's important because we want to still make sure that we're giving these kids more opportunities to score. It really is about learning how to pass, learning how to score, having fun, and enjoying the game of soccer, right? And there are no offsides in 8U, so they don't have to worry about that. Again, it's more about goals. It's more about having the kids have fun and have a good time. And in this division, and this might change, at some point, but right now, coaches referee, and they have been refereeing for a while. And in the future, we may consider having some youth division referees referee the games, maybe in the spring. But for the fall division, coaches will referee. 10U division, at this point now, you really are getting to the point where the coaches are getting a bit more serious. They're trying to teach them about, more plays, maybe even some plays off of different scenarios. So they're teaching them scenarios, right? And they're starting to get a bit more serious as far as, all the fundamentals. At this point, they should have some of those fundamentals completely down, whether it be throw-ins or whether it be kicks and runs and all that kind of stuff. Even basic passing, they should basically have them down at this point. But usually the coaches, parents, you shouldn't freak out. It really is a situation where coaches will understand that some kids are brand new, even at 10U, and they will still teach them the fundamentals. So it's still recreational, right? So they still want to make sure that everybody still has a fun time. So it's as far as 10U division goes, it's 60-minute practices maximum, 1 to 2 times a week maximum, 50-minute games with 7v7 games, and this is the first time when goalkeepers are actually a thing in the 10U division. So goalkeepers are incredibly important. And by the way, as far as AYSO 1463, the goalkeepers cannot play the entire game. So the coaches are taught that, and there's certain rules around that we will go over with the coaches and go over, which then they should go over with you as well. in 10U, there's what's called the build outline. And there's more information at the link below. There is a nice little YouTube video. There are a few lessons to be learned about the build outline, but kind of what it says here, it really does encourage, U10 teams to learn how to play the ball forward. And what that means is, in the past, they're still kind of young, so it's a little hard for the goalkeepers on goal kicks to kick the ball really far away. So what used to happen is goalkeepers would kick the ball and they wouldn't kick it too far away. And without the build outline, the defensive players would get the ball really, really quickly and then go in there and score, right? So the build-out line, the defensive players have to stay behind the build-out line until a certain point, and then they can kind of run in and get the ball. And it's trying to kind of help still provide some offensive structure there. And also, as far as offsides go, for some of you that may be a bit more knowledgeable in offsides, offsides starts in 10U really. And, the rules are actually a bit complicated, and I really don't want to go into too much info here. But basically, usually in soccer, offsides happens on the offensive side of a field, starting with the center line. So say, for example, the center line. But with 10U, the build-out line kind of changes things. It changes things. It's almost like the build-out line then becomes a center line, and it has, it changes the rules as far as offsides go. So again, it's funny. I'm kind of hesitating a little bit because we can go into offsides a fair amount, but honestly, again, this video is getting a little long. So if you'd like more information on the build-out line and offsides, there's always information on our website, and there's also information on this YouTube link right here. Which provides just a quick 2-3 minute tutorial on what this whole build out line means. If you guys are really interested, please make sure to check that out. 12U division and up, I'll go through these fairly quickly. Now, 12U division, again, like I mentioned before, they're still meant to be rotating. The coach is still meant to be, now keep in mind, this is where some of the coaches will start kind of, they're still meant to be rotating, but now they're starting to put kids in certain positions. So maybe a situation where they kind of place certain kids in certain positions for 2 quarters and then they rotate them, afterwards. So it may seem like the rotating is starting to slow down, which it sort of is, but they still are meant to be rotating the kids. Big ticket items, positions should definitely be taught and enforced. Positions absolutely are, they should be taught at 12U without a doubt, but they are not fully enforced until about 14U, meaning players in 14U and above, they almost then get a position and they stick to it. The coaches stick to it. But in 12U, there's still a little bit of leeway there. Goalkeepers, they cannot play more than 3 quarters of keeper. So it has to be 3 quarters as keeper and then 1 quarter on the field itself. So the keeper, whoever plays keeper, needs to actually play a quarter. If they play 3 quarters as keeper, they need to play 1 quarter inside the field itself. No headers allowed still at 12U. And as far as time frames go, it's a 60-minute practice once or twice a week. 60-minute games, 9v9. Usually teams are about 11 to a team. Maximum is 12, but it's usually about 11. And then a size 4 ball, so it kind of changes for 12U. 14U, you're looking at 90-minute practices, no more than 3 hours a week. That is absolute maximum. 7-minute games, 11 versus 11 game, and now it's a size 5 ball, so it kind of changes. Big ticket items or positions are definitely taught and enforced. Like I mentioned a second ago, now coaches are probably going to start really placing players in specific positions. So be aware of that. Cannot play more than 3/4 as keeper, and headers are allowed in 14U. However, in 14U, there's still an amount that players cannot go over. They cannot, whether it be in practices, a combination of practices and games. So make sure to talk to your coaches and see if you can get some information on that. But there is a certain limit to the amount of headers that players can do. 16U division is 80-minute games, 11v11 game with a size 5 ball. So again, if you want more information on all these divisions, there's various bullet points you can go over. But for the most part, from 14U on, play is just a bit more faster. It's a bit more high stakes, and the calls by referees go down because at this point, kids tend to know what they're doing. So there's not a whole lot of brand new ticket items here. But if you want more information, there's always these bullet points within the slides themselves. So feel free to hit those, and there's more information there for you. So volunteers, this is a big one. So what's a volunteer? So obviously coaches, referees, registrars, fundraisers, field managers, board members, regional commissioners, everybody that's out there working with your kids are 100% volunteers. And, what's important about that is, every single person out there is a parent like you or me. I'm a parent as well. And in order to kind of keep this whole region growing, it's insanely important that, you guys as parents step up and help volunteer. I mean, any and all help. I've mentioned this to some of the parents at the recent, meetings as well, but even if it's a tiny bit of help, even if it's 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you can provide, I mean, that's better than zero, right? And some of these things, I mean, keep in mind, even myself, I started, about 5 or 6 years ago, bringing my kid to AYSO, and at the time I had no idea about soccer. I mean, I had no clue about the rules. I had no idea, how it really played. I mean, I had no clue about it. And I remember I joined a referee class, and from that point on, I fell in love with it, right? It was just something that I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to kind of grow my own understanding about the fundamentals of the game and understand what AYSO is all about. And once I kind of learned what AYSO is all about, as far as it being a recreational league that tries to focus on development and community, that's when I started realizing, this is a great place, and this is a great group of people, and I need help. And my hope is that you guys kind of feel the same way. And hopefully you guys step up and volunteer, whether it be coaches. I mean, again, I had no idea what I was doing at the beginning, and you don't have to either. If you're a coach and you have no clue what's going on, we provide you guys with free training. We provide you guys with free courses and seminars. You have to give a bit of your time, and you guys are good. I mean, a good chunk of our seminars or coaches or coaching courses are online. You guys can take them on aysou.org, and they're completely online, and you can do them on your own time. So all of that stuff, it's pretty simple to do. I mean, any help that you guys can provide would be an amazing help, especially now, especially for the fall season and where we have a serious amount of teams and we need the help. So whatever help you can give would be fantastic. And as far as who can volunteer, by the way, it could be anybody. It could be parents, it could be moms, dads, sisters, brothers, grandparents. It could be friends. It could be even some of the older players themselves. It could be anybody. So if you know anybody out there who wants to volunteer their time and be a coach or even referee, they want to learn what it means to be a referee and be out there to help out with, the referee flags and have a good time and get a little bit of exercise, please do. Let us know as soon as possible. It would be a gigantic help. So same thing. I mean, this basically goes into exactly what I was just talking about. And as far as available volunteer positions, again, coaches, assistant coaches, referees, assistant referees. And as far as referees go, I think sometimes people get a little afraid because they think, oh my God, I'm a brand new referee. Am I going to get thrown into the wolves and have to send a referee? That's not the case at all. You can easily be an assistant referee where you're out there, you're learning. There are other senior referees that are out there with you and kind of teaching you as the game is going on. It's incredibly important that you guys, join up. And it can even be youth referees and team managers, team parents, board members. I mean, as far as board member goes, we have board member meetings every Monday of every single month, and any help that you guys want to give, whether it be helping out with fundraisers, helping out with sponsorships, division coordinators, schoolyard coordinator, anything. There are several positions that you guys, if you guys have any interests, I mean, let us know. There might be something that you really like doing that could be a gigantic help to us. Even if it seems trivial, please let us know. There's going to be a brand new a youth referee program, brand new for the fall. It's in its infancy, so we're going to start figuring things out a little bit. Basically, we have a youth coordinator. His name is Jerry Lee Stewart. He is just starting this program right now, so there's going to be a lot of hiccups and bumps along the way. But the idea here is we want to get your kids together, and we want to teach them about the rules of the game. And what better way to do it than to become an actual youth referee? I mean, like I mentioned before, I did not discover my love for this game until I took my first referee class. And that's where a lot of these kids, I think, can feel the same way. And the idea behind what Jerry's going to be doing is, there are not going to be any adults in this class. It's going to be a situation where there's going to be courses maybe once a month, and it's going to potentially be at the field. And that's where Jerry's going to be teaching these kids, various lessons every single month as far as things they need to know. And it's going to help them in their game itself. It's going to help them teach them what they need to know about soccer. So it would be gigantic if you guys can sign up for this. Now, right now, there are no signups, but we are working on this, and we will let you know as soon as possible once that's ready to go. We will send emails and information, and you guys will be aware. And also, by the way, on the PowerPoint itself, it mentions incentives, and we're going to try to make it fun, right? They're kids, so they're going to want something for their time in some ways. I mean, other than learning about soccer. So that's where we're going to do, some drawings, maybe for little, prizes or gifts or whatever the case may be. So we're still going to try to make it fun for the kids as well. Where do I sign up? And this is for all volunteers. So there is a link here, but what you're going to want to do is on the website itself. Let me log out so I can show you real quick. So registering, you go to the registration site, right? You kind of have the drop down on the registration button. For volunteer registrations, you can click this. And coincidentally, if you look on the actual scroll window, here is an option here as well. They both go to the exact same place. So you go to registration, you go to volunteer registration, and I've provided, here's where you actually see a video walkthrough of how to register, right? Or the whole process of how to registering. If you don't want to watch a video and you just want to do a step-by-step, there is a complete step-by-step with pictures and images to make things a little bit easier. If for whatever reason you guys run into any concerns, let us know and we'll help you out. Now, all of this seems like a lot. I promise you, it really doesn't take very long at all. The second step, by the way, that you're going to go into is there's going to be what's called verified volunteers. And it's a brand new process that's just being initiated starting this fall. And what this means is it is a stage 2 or a level 2 volunteer verification. It's a background check. And this is incredibly important to AYSO National and to us. We got to make sure that anybody who's a volunteer has gone through a very rigorous background check. And what's going on here is, and we need to make you guys aware, because some of you might be kind of concerned in terms of like, we noticed the registration fees kind of went up a little bit. That's interesting. Well, in the fall, there's picture day, and that kind of goes into that as well. We also provide trophies, and so that kind of adds a little bit. But really what it comes down to is, for each and every volunteer that signs up, we, AYSO 1463, has to pay $25 for every single volunteer. So that starts adding up. But the reason why this is, where we completely understand and we're for it is because it's really, really, really important for the safety of my kids, for the safety of your kids, that every single volunteer is verified with this system, because you can trust that this particular program, which is a nationwide program, will weed out anybody who is a concern. So that's where that whole process steps in. So anyway, going back to that real quick. So once you're done with the verified volunteer process, then we will be notified that you have completely completed your volunteer application. And at that point, there are some certifications that each and every coach, each and every referee will have to go through. It's required. We cannot provide you a roster until you do so. And again, these are modules like the safety modules that I talked before, Safe Haven and concussions and all that you can do in your own time. They are online training modules. For some of the later divisions, for example, 12U and up, there are some in-person related stuff. that I will go over with you individually. But for the most part, 10U and under, you can do every single one of your needed certifications online on your own time. So it's really, really, really easy stuff. So please, if you volunteer, don't be intimidated by this. It's really not a whole lot, I promise you. And we definitely need the help. So whatever help you can give us would be fantastic. For whatever reason, this has actually kind of gotten a little smaller on me. And it's because, there we go, I have fixed the problem. Okay, so volunteer points, there's actually going to be what's called a volunteer point system. So this is brand new to the region. This is going to be described to you by your coaches, but if you have any questions, let us know. We are actually in the process now of finalizing this as we speak. And what's going to happen is the area playoffs that I described earlier, it's a scenario that it happens in Riverside. It's a giant park. Again, it's this really illustrious thing that all these various teams in the regions and various regions want to go to in order to kind of experience. It's a lot of fun. And in the past, what we've done is any team that had the best record would go. They would be declared, AYSO 1463 champions, and they'd be representative of our region. Well, we've decided to do something different this season. And what this means is we really, really need volunteers, and we need volunteers to kind of help step up. So we're doing a volunteer program where basically any several volunteer actions that you perform during the season will provide you with points in some manner. And at the end of the season, and by the way, this it may be listed on this slide, but the actual examples of what they're going to be may differ on the final product. So it could be something as supporting, the board members on picture day, but we're providing volunteer support on field lining days. So you're helping to line the field, which is a good amount of work, and help is absolutely appreciated. Attending the coach meetings, attending, referee meetings, several different criteria. Each time you perform it will give you points. And at the end of the season, the teams that have the most amount of points will kind of do this one-day playoff at AYSO 1463. And the winner of those playoffs, they are declared the actual champion and will go to area playoffs in Riverside. And, so what this means is one team can be a powerhouse and can go 10-0, but if they don't have the volunteer points, if for whatever reason their coaches and referees didn't care to help the region in any kind of way whatsoever, they will not qualify. They will not go to playoffs at AYSO 1463. So it's really, really important that you guys help out. So information, specifics on this will be provided to your coaches, and once the coaches have this, they will be provided to you so you can kind of understand the whole thing, and we can go from there. But if you have any questions on this in the meantime, let us know, but we will be giving you this info very, very soon. And again, as mentioned before, we have a Facebook site, we have an Instagram site, and we have a Twitter site. And now we have a YouTube site, which isn't on this slide, but we will be providing that info to you very, very soon. It's really important to get the latest news and information through those social media sites. They are updated regularly, and also our website. So our website is bluesombrero.com/region1463. Information on all these sites are updated almost every day or every other day. So if you guys want to know the absolute latest, please make sure to check those sites. All that info will be there for you. And then some of the key dates that are coming up. These are some of the more important things. So say, for example, team formation. So we're doing that right now as we speak, and they'll be available in mid-July. And that kind of happens behind the scenes. So once we're ready to go with team formations, the coaches will be informed. And we're going to have a coaches meeting on July 30th, and we're going to announce that very soon. So if not, by the time you see this video, it might actually have already been announced. So coaches will be given a heads up that we're going to have a coaches meeting at the Temecula Library on July 30th. And at that meeting, we'll be providing them with a ton of information as far as what to expect for the season and what information they need to provide to you. Because from that point on, really, it's going to be, the coach's responsibility to kind of communicate with you, the parents, as much as possible. There's going to be a coach meet and greet at Dick's Sporting Goods on August 3rd, and that would be a fantastic way for your kids to kind of meet their brand new coaches, to say hello, to kind of get an idea of what to expect for the season, and a little bit more importantly, I mean, that's really, really important as well. But there's also going to be a 20% coupon at Dick's Sporting Goods. That's only for that day. So if you guys want to do some shopping, if you guys want to buy some stuff, you will have a 20% coupon at Dick's Sporting Goods for that day. There's also going to be a coaches training on August 11th, which is a Sunday. And that's where, it's going to be 2 different sessions. One of them is going to be for 6U division. One of them is going to be a combination of 6U and 8U division coaches. And then there's going to be a second one just for 10U division coaches. That will be at AYSO 1463. And we will let you know as soon as possible the location of that and the time, what times are going to be available. For all of the other divisions, such as 12U and up, there are several other regions that provide coach help or coach courses, and we will make sure to provide you that information so that way you're aware of where you can go to get your certification, which is incredibly important and is much needed before the season is started. Practices will begin. We're stating right now August 5th or the week of August 5th. It may actually go into the week of August 11th. So, it's going to be one or the other, but it's going to be in early August. There's going to be referee training August 17th, referee refresher for anybody who is a older referee. There are several new referee rules and regulations that have gone into effect, so we need to kind of give a refresher to everybody. So August 17th is, the day for referee training and a referee refresher, or referee training for brand new refs or people wanting to be referees. And then a refresher for, older referees. Schedule for all games will be one of the last things we provide you. So that's going to be in late August. Opening day right now is set for September 7th. And then picture day is set for September 21st. So all these dates are subject to change. So please make sure you kind of take an eye or keep an eye out for any changes on the websites or our social media. But for the most part, this is pretty locked in stone. So yeah, if you have any questions on any of these dates, please let us know. And for the most part, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, one of the important things is we want to make sure that you guys have a really, really fun season. So, and also, of course, we want to make sure that your kids, all of our kids, my kids, we all have a fantastic season. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to always email us, contact us. You can always go to our website. Real quick, for some of you who may not know, where that information lies, if you go to our website, if you go, for example, to the homepage, you get some basic information up front here. You get some news articles here. You definitely get some upcoming events that are coming up here, right? I would say if you're trying to contact any of us, just go ahead and go to Region 1463, go to the Contact Us link, select that, and you get some information as far as certain people and contact emails that you can contact. Feel free to contact any of these people at any time. And that's basically it. Thank you so much for listening. I know it's been a long video, but if for any reason you guys would like to contact us, feel free to do so. Again, my name is Jaime. I am the Regional Commissioner-elect for the fall season and spring season of 2020. Feel free to contact me at rc.ayso1463@gmail.com. Thank you very much, everybody. Talk to you soon.